Recording. Okay.
There we go. Hello.
Hey, Enrico, it's so great to see you, my friend.
Long time, long
Long,
time.
long
Wow.
time. Too freaking long. You were supposed to be here in May, and okay,
I was
hold
supposed
on,
to be here in
hold on.
February, in May,
Yeah,
every
I know.
year.
Hold on. I got to tell the people who are watching this who you are.
All
Who
right.
is this? Who is this Italiano who's on this little show called Coco's Calling? So, okay, so Enrico is basically a guitar player, according to me, first, and he graduated from MI, from Musicians Institute. He did audio
Yes,
engineering and guitar, and
absolutely.
he can play the Bumblebee's Flight on the guitar, and I've seen him do that, and he's a phenomenal guitar player. But also, he is a sound engineer. He has worked as first assistant and second assistant for Steve Vai and Paul Gilbert for 2, 3 years. He's done FOH tours with Paul Gilbert, with Steve Vai, and he does clinics across the world, all the way from the US to UK to China to I don't know. He's traveling all the time. And I meet this guy in Pune for the
Yeah,
first time at a clinic, at a similar clinic which I was attending, and we became friends.
absolutely. We did.
And now we've been friends for over 4 years,
No more. It was,
more,
my friend, it was 2013. Imagine that. 7 years now.
7 years. We've been friends for 7 years, and wow. And of course, uh, the forthcoming track that we are just about to release is being mixed by Mr. Enrico, Mr. Kikko. Oh, it's so great to see you, and it's so nice to see you that you're doing fine. You're in the thick of it all. You're in Italy, and
Yes.
the first thing I want to ask you is how you're doing and how's your family and how's life in Italy, because we know that you guys have been in a lockdown for the longest time. You all have
Yeah.
you all have a serious amount of uh,
That's infection.
deaths there and infection there. So how are you doing and how is life in Italy right now?
I'm fine. First of all, I'm fine. My family's fine. All my closest relatives are fine. Unfortunately, I lost a friend here. And it was very strange because, as you know, even for the funeral, you can't really go for funeral. So people get buried, you don't see them. It's like yesterday was there, today is not there, but you don't even know it. So it's crazy because we passed 100,000 cases and 10,000 deaths, I believe. So it's just,
Right.
but it's fine. There's plenty of news about that. Italy is trying to get better. I think we got at the peak. It's gonna slow down in April, and maybe in May we're gonna be more free to do because we're locked down right now. I'm in my house. It's not my studio. It's my house setup for my
Yeah.
guitar and stuff. And I can go out. We can just go out for grocery, but we need to have paper and all of that. It's like India, pretty much, right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So, but it's good. It's good.
We are having the same situation here. We
Yeah.
can't. I mean, of course, if we step out of our gates, the cops are beating us with lathis. That's how it is. But yeah, so that's the way it is. But I think
Yeah,
we are all going to get through this together,
I think
because it's
so.
not just localized. It's not just happening in one country. It's happening to the entire globe. So, it's in some strange way, it seems to have unified the entire world today.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
entire,
yeah. Exactly. We are on the same
everyone,
boat.
we are all in the same boat. It's unfortunate, but at the same time, there seems to be some kind of empathy happening uh, between human beings today, and I see
Yeah.
a lot of that happening. You know, so I hope to God that we get over this very, very quickly.
And
You
I
know.
can finally come to India too.
Yeah, I know it's been too long. Anyway, So coming to
What's
that
up?
question,
Yes.
which I want to ask you. So you're a guitar player of I've seen you playing the guitar, so you know, according to my judgment, you're a phenomenal guitar player.
Oh, thank you. Very kind.
And you've studied music, you've worked with fantastic musicians like Steve Vai and Paul Gilbert and uh, you know the host of knowledge that you've accumulated over the years, all of that. So my question to you is that when a person calls himself a sound engineer,
Yeah.
uh, do you think it is important not just to learn about sound engineering, but also to learn music? I mean, do you think that they go hand in hand? And what are your thoughts about this?
Absolutely. I always believe the sound engineers, as you say, I'm first a guitar player and then a sound engineer. So what happened in my mind for me is absolutely, it has to be the fundamental thing that you have to be a musician in order to be an engineer. Because I started as a musician. So to me, it's absolutely unthinkable of being a sound engineer without knowing anything about the music. Like you say, I study a lot of music. Of course, the theory and all of that, especially a musician institute. Even in Italy, I did some classical theory. But when you do sound engineering, to know concept is not only the concept about tonality, about number of bars, about click and tempo. It's just have a musical feeling. And you do your music. I mean, you're a guitar player. You do your music. You compose your music. It's like it's a sixth sense, right? When you can actually musical thing, you can actually really help. First of all, you can really help an artist in studio because you have a musical feeling. It's not really musical knowledge. It's just a musical feeling, you know.
True, true.
And also, I mean, to me, especially to me, it was a blast to be an engineer and guitar player because now I can really record my own music, being able to do it by myself, being able to call up some musician, being able, like with you, to share sessions and do stuff like that. So yes, I would say sometimes I meet, just to finish up this question, just when I met engineers, when I meet engineers, sorry, they don't really have a musical knowledge. Of course, I don't make them feel bad, but
Sure.
on my point of view, it's like it's half of the deal. It's half of the cake for sure,
Sure.
for sure.
No, and also, I pretty much doubt whether a musician will trust his mix with someone who's not a musician himself. I mean,
Absolutely.
how do I trust? I mean, if I send you a
Exactly.
session and
Exactly.
I name the tracks and I do everything, and at the
Exactly.
same time, how do I tell you that okay, these are the aesthetics that I'm looking at?
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
How do I do that? Finding the right connect with the engineer is also very important. Sure.
Sure,
And
absolutely,
and
absolutely.
and you know the last couple of tracks that Agni has done, you've mixed them, and we are all so happy to hear the kind of sound that you've given us, and those songs are going to be released soon. But the important thing being that the faith of the musician needs to happen when it's the engineer at the desk, and
I
it's
think so. Sure.
and it's and I've always felt that it's never the machine, it's always the man behind the machine.
Absolutely so. And and just to tell you, I mean, can you imagine how difficult it can be for an engineer to even be artistic about put, for example, a delay on a guitar in the mix? I mean, you have to, for non-musician, you can't have to learn by memory what to do. It doesn't make sense to me, you know.
Sure, sure.
For
So
example.
I know. So when you listen to different kinds of music,
Yeah,
when you're also, of course, there's a flip side to it. When you listen to different kinds of music, and some of the sessions come to you as a mix engineer,
yeah,
and you are a musician of you have a certain capability of music.
yeah.
You feel sometimes that what am I doing? What is the song that I'm mixing? What is this bullshit I have on my session? Does that happen to you?
To be honest, it really happens little time because I think it's just, I don't know if you want to say it this way. It's like it's a natural selection. The more you get popularity or you work with big artists, you get in touch with artists of the same level. So it's not that you're doing the demo band
Sure,
for the
sure.
demo show. I mean, sometimes it happens that I need to do a lot of edit. That
Okay.
happens because sometimes the timing, but never to say what the hell I'm mixing. No, this doesn't happen. I
No,
usually
but
choose. To be honest, I choose.
yeah.
To be honest, I put the luxury for me to choose because I
Okay.
got enough work,
Great.
so I choose. That's
Great.
a good question. That's a
No,
good
no,
answer, I
but
think.
no, no, yeah, true. But there's sometimes, I know that you work with only a certain level of artists. But what
Yeah.
about the real famous ones? Sometimes has it happened to you that you've got a really famous artist who sent you a really shit take,
No.
and
No.
and you got to
To me, it never
putting
happened.
it in a spot. And if
First
you
off,
have,
I
and
can
if
I
you
can
have,
tell you anyways.
yeah, no, no, I was going to tell you if you worked with a big artist who sent you a shit take, tell us the name.
Exactly. No.
Oh, super. So
So
anyway, this was the entire conversation about musicianship and about engineering. And today, with the kind of music that we are listening to, uh, how much of how much of technology is really providing for the music? Is it the music that is driving technology, or is it the technology that's driving music?
I mean, I should say because I mean I've been trained in analog, so I was trained around the beginning of 2000. So beginning of 2000, you still do tape a lot and
Yeah.
Pro Tools, right? So I
Okay.
gotta learn both. So I should say, oh, it's a shame because music now it's technology drives music and everything. But in a way, I tell you, my friend, and you know that it's like it's not a shame. It's a different opportunity. It's a different option. I mean, if you're a musician like you do, you still grab your guitar, you
Yeah.
learn your stuff, you get your tone, you get
Yeah.
your touch, and that's for everybody, singer, drummer. But on the other hand, you have an alternative just to make music happening with technology. So I think it's an opportunity. So unfortunately, there is a lot of music. New generations maybe thinks technology is the answer, but I don't care. I just know the way it is. I think it's a balance between the two. It's always a balance. And
Okay.
yes, yeah, I would say that. What you think?
Yeah, I believe that. I mean, there was somebody who told me that, the tone doesn't come from the guitar pedal, it comes from the hand. So that made a big impact on me.
Absolutely,
Uh,
absolutely.
it's
And
never the
it's always
machine.
gonna be like this. It's always
Yeah.
gonna be like
So,
this.
so that always made an impact on me. So to conclude this, I just want to ask you if you can, uh, tell the people who are listening to this video,
Yes,
uh, the musicians especially, the the younger musicians, not the established guys who
of
know their
course.
stuff, but to the youngsters who are listening to this, what is it that they need to look out for when it comes to their own home recordings and their own setups, and what is it
Okay.
that they need to really look out for to make sure that they make a good good sounding song?
Okay. Oh wow. As you know, this is a very long answer if I take it wide. But I really believe that you can subdivide the thing in two parts. So the first part we say you're a vocal, you're a singer. So you're a singer. So if you want to do recording, professional recording, you can start have your setup at home with a nice microphone and a nice pre. And of course, you need the computer and interface. Everybody needs to do that.
Sure,
So a
sure.
guitar player needs a good chain of guitar. For example, I don't have my amp in here and in my
Yeah,
apartment. I can use
yeah,
this one and it works fine. For example, now drummer, it's a
The
difficult
Kemper,
choice.
I see the Kemper.
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually, it was very on
give me
discount, and
that,
I
give
loved it.
me that Kemper, give me that Kemper.
It's a very great machine to do this kind of work. But on
Is
the
it
other hand,
better?
what's that?
Is it better than the Axe FX, the AX8?
The fractal, you mean? The
Yeah, the
fractal
fact.
X one.
Yeah.
I think I work with I did one live show with this guitar player,
Uh-huh.
famous guitar player called Tosin Abasi, which is from Animals Leaders, and he used
Okay.
fractal on live, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, and this fractal is kind of cool. There's a lot of effects. I believe that this guy has the effects are great, but on this machine, the really cool thing is the really profiling of the mic in front of the cabinet, and this is
Okay.
very cool. This is very
Okay.
cool. And
Sorry,
so to come,
yeah, come back to the main point.
I know.
Sorry.
Don't worry, don't worry. So the second thing, for sure, I will say you really need to know your tools. I mean, it's for me in 2020, in this year, in 2020, it's absolutely unthinkable for a musician who wants to be a very pro musician that can do an edit. It doesn't know a software. You need to know some software. You need to be able to do some recording yourself. You need to be able to edit. You need to be able to share sessions with people because that's the only way to go. And of course, let me add something to it's kind of combination between this question, the very beginning, and the first questions.
Sure.
Like it's true that it's for me it's unthinkable being a sound engineer without knowing the music. On the other hand, I tell you that by being guitar player, I very changed much on my way I play guitar by listening live to Paul Gilbert and Steve Vai. There was a time that when I started working with Paul Gilbert and I saw him picking live in front of
Yeah.
me, and I
Yeah.
say, "Oh, I'm never gonna pick again. Either I sound this way or I'm never
I
really gonna
don't.
try." But it's good because that makes, of course, in the beginning it was very tragic, but then you kind of balance yourself to the planet. You start to develop your own voice. You start to know what you're gonna look for, and that's what I say to youngster. Still keep listening to music. Keep listening
Sure.
to your idols of guitar, drums, or whatever it is, and try to get better in your instrument. There is no plugin, no edit tool that's gonna make that better anyway.
Sure.
So it's a
It's
balance
it,
for me.
it's all about the source. The source has to be
Yes.
perfect.
Yes,
Yeah.
this.
Yes. Wow, man. Enrico, it
So
is such a pleasure. And I know we're talking on this format where we're talking like where I'm interviewing you and stuff like that.
I'm
But
hugging
yeah,
you now. I'm hugging you.
a big hug to you. And just before leaving, do you want to say anything to anyone in India? Do you want to say
Yes,
something?
I wanna say, of course, I wanna say that I miss all my friends over there. I miss you guys. I really miss you guys. I wish I can be there. I would definitely wanna come back, and I will come back. Hopefully
Yes.
anytime soon. But this is the time that we need to stay at home. We need to
Yeah.
stay safe because this works. This is the only way it works. You stay home. You do what they say. The sanity, the health department, they say to stay home. Stay at home. It's a sacrifice for everybody, but the sooner
True.
we do better, the sooner we gotta get out of this.
True.
So
True.
that's what I really wanna say.
True. Okay, thanks a lot, Enrico, and cheers. It was a pleasure. Cheers,
Rock and roll.
buddy. Love you, buddy.
Love you too.